Hello, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to day one of the 5-day challenge, how not to lose your cool, especially when your kids do. I'm just going to give people a little bit of time to log into our meeting. I know there was some confusion. An email was sent out early this morning saying, thank you for attending the challenge and here's your homework. And people have been emailing me saying, what, did I miss the challenge? You didn't miss the challenge. We're starting at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time every day for the next 5 days. So you haven't missed anything yet. Hello. As you join, just let me know that you're here. Say hello. Let us know where in the world you're coming from. Hi, Christy and Bethany and Lisa. Hi, Tiffany. Hi, Elaine and Christy and Deanna. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Rachel. Welcome, Candace and Annika and Verna. Hi, Denise. Hi, Cindy and Stephanie. I'm so glad you're here. Hi, Amrit. Hello. Hi, Candace. Hi, Camille. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Reed and Joanne. I'm so glad you're here. Hello, Selena. Welcome. I'm so happy to see everybody. Where are you all coming from? I think it's just absolutely fascinating that we come from all around the world and we all have the same goal, and that's to help our children with ADHD thrive. So hello from California, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Tennessee, Kansas. We've got lots of American friends here today. Hello from Toronto.
Ontario, Canada.
Hello from Canada. Yay. We've got some people from Ontario just like me. Hello from Michigan and Washington. Wow, the West Coast. Beautiful. So glad that you're here, everybody. Welcome. And we're also live in the Facebook group, the ADHD Village Facebook group. So I'm just going to hop on there quickly and see who's in the group watching. Let's see, who have we got in Facebook? Hi, Jenny. So glad that you're here. So as you're joining us, just let us know that you're here. Say hello. Tell us where you're coming from. Maybe let us know how many kids you have and what their ages are. That will be helpful throughout the challenge to know that. So glad that you're here. Today is going to be really exciting. I'm always learning and growing and evolving. So I think every time I do this challenge, it gets better and better each time. So I'm really excited to bring some new information to you this evening. Hello, Leanne from Australia. So glad you're here. You have 4 adults children and 2 of them have ADHD, as do you. So glad you're here, Leanne. So I just want to share a little bit of the housekeeping with you. We will be live on Zoom and in our Facebook group every day at the same time. So 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're on the West Coast Pacific time, that's 4:00 p.m. And if you're in Australia, I think it's early tomorrow morning. So yeah, Monday to Friday at the same time every day in Zoom and in our Facebook group. I've got prizes to give out. I love giving out prizes. Prizes are fun. So I will be giving out prizes on day 4. And the way that you can win the prizes, there's 2 ways. Number 1, show up, participate, comment, do your homework. So every day after the call, you'll get an email that explains the homework. The homework will also be posted in our Facebook group, the ADHD Village Facebook group. So do your homework, show up, participate. If you're watching on the replay, you can still comment and participate and do the homework. Maybe if you're watching now on the replay, you can type in #replay. So I know you're catching this later, or you can even type in #keepcool. The other way that you can win prizes is by sharing. So I think this is a fabulous way to start off ADHD Awareness Month. October is ADHD Awareness Month. So what a great way to start by spreading some awareness and getting some strategies in place. So the more people who know how to support our kids with ADHD, the better. So go ahead and share this challenge on your social media. If there's a mom's group that you're in, or any kind of group, a Facebook group, where you're able to share these kinds of things in, that would be great to spread the word, or email a friend or share with a friend. That would be lovely. I really, really, truly believe that children with neurodiversities are here for a really important reason. They are teaching us as parents and as adults so much about ourselves. They are helping us to become better, more conscious parents, and they are truly helping us to shift the parenting paradigm. So thank you for joining me and being a part of this exciting work. We are changing parenting together, and we're changing the way the world treats our children with ADHD. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for spending this time with me. I've got a friend who has their microphone on. If you don't mind muting, please, Elaine, that would be great. Yeah, so for those of you who are new to me, if this is maybe one of the first times you've seen me before, my name is Laura Dawn. I may have met some of you for the first time last weekend for the ADHD Parenting Solutions Summit. If you participated in that summit, maybe just type in the comments. Let me know if you are a part of that. It was my first live summit. I co-hosted with Bob Dietrich, which was wonderful. He's absolutely fabulous. And I was so thankful that he's such an expert host and that he has so much experience, because he truly had to host most of the show since I lost my voice completely. So that was lots of fun. But anyway, as you can tell, I do have my voice back now. I'm just going to pin, oh, there we go. That should help in Facebook. I just pinned myself. Okay, so I'm just going to peek at the comments, and you might notice my eyes are kind of going everywhere because I'm looking at comments in Zoom. I'm looking at comments in Facebook. I'm trying to look at your faces too on Zoom. Some of you do have your cameras on, so I get to see your lovely faces. Yeah, let's get started. This is exciting. Yes, Christabel. The summit was great, Christy. Thank you for sharing. Allison, you attended the summit, but you're still catching up on the recordings. That's great. It was really a fantastic summit. I learned a lot as well. So glad that you're here. So we went over how you can win some prizes. We went over that we will be live every day at the same time. You will be getting a homework challenge every day, and that's how you can win a prize, is by doing your homework challenge and by sharing this challenge with others. If you're new to me, my name is Laura Dawn. I have ADHD. Both of my sons have ADHD. They are 12 and 14 years old. I am an elementary school teacher. I've taught everything from kindergarten to grade 8, and I've spent 10 years teaching special education, which I truly have a big heart for kids in special education, whether it's learning disabilities or ADHD or autism or developmental delays, gifted. I truly love working with those students. Right now I'm teaching kindergarten. I'm in my 5th year of kindergarten, and I absolutely love it. And one of the things I really love is that I get to use all my strategies as a coach in my classroom. So the strategies that I share with you are very well practiced. I've been teaching for 23 years. So I use these strategies with my students, with my clients, and with my own sons. So I really, truly believe that these strategies work. I've seen them work in my own family and at school and with the families that I work with. So it's very exciting. So a quick little overview of what to expect over the next 5 days. I think I'm talking fast because I want to get all this out. I'm so excited. So you should have received an email that had homework in it. And that had a video where I went over some of the differences in an ADHD brain compared to a neurotypical brain. I used to include that in the challenge, but I want the challenge to be a little bit more immersive. So I thought that you can just watch on your own time. I'm also really, truly learning that the best way we can support our kids with ADHD is by supporting ourselves first. Truly, like being educated as a parent, supporting our own needs first, is how we can support others. You've all heard the expression that when you get on an airplane, you're told to put on your own oxygen mask first before you put on your child's. So I am going with that kind of feeling into this challenge. We're really about supporting and taking care of the caregivers so that you can take care of your kids, but also because you are human beings too, and you deserve to be taken care of. Lisa said no homework email. So it would have been sent out. I think it was sent out yesterday and also on Friday. So check your junk box. You might want to safe list my email. It should be coming from Coach Laura at the ADHD Village. If you still didn't receive it, you can just send me an email and I will forward it to you. Coach Laura at the ADHDvillage.com. You can also post it in our Facebook group, and somebody on my team can reach out and help you, or even one of the lovely villagers can reach out and help you as well. So that was kind of like the pre-work before the challenge, but you can watch it anytime. Okay. The next 5 days. So today, I've kind of switched up the order a little bit. So today we're actually going to be talking all about triggers and what triggers us. Tomorrow, we're going to be digging deep into what's beneath our children's behaviors. They're big, explosive behaviors that we often find very triggering. So we're going to really do some digging. We're going to be detectives and figure out what's going on that's causing these behaviors, that's causing these big emotional outbursts. Day 3 is the day for strategies and tools for your toolbox. I'll be sharing ways that you can prevent these escalations from happening. Day 4, I'm going to be giving you a step-by-step plan, what to do in the moment. Was that day 4 or day 3? It's day 4, I think. Anyway, you'll be getting maybe it's day 3. A step-by-step plan for what to do in the moment. So when things are really heated, you're feeling really stressed out and triggered, your kids are big and explosive, I will give you a plan for exactly what to do to de-escalate the whole situation. Then we're going to be getting into a visualization. That is day 4, the visualization. And then on day 5, it's a question and answer. Oh, thank you. Somebody's sharing here in the chat. Leanne. Yeah, day 3 is all about the tools. Thank you. Okay, so let's dive in. Ooh, before we dive in, I'll tell you what the prizes are because I'm really excited about the prizes. So the grand prize is a 1-month membership to the ADHD Warrior Mama program. This is my signature coaching program. This has everything in it that I wish I had known 10 years ago when my kids were young and I was really, really struggling. It's a 1-year program and it's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. So that's the grand prize, 1 month into that program. If there's any warrior mamas here, maybe you can let us know what you think of the program. Another prize will be an all access pass to one of my first 2 summits, Calming the ADHD Chaos or Calming the ADHD Family. And another prize, this is something brand new that is being released in November. It's called Putting Mama First. It is a virtual retreat. The retreat itself is free, so anybody can participate in the retreat. It's 3 days long for free, but we're offering a luxury, VIP luxury experience. So I'll be giving away one of those luxury experiences for free. So I'll be doing draws for all the prizes on Thursday.
How do you do in your new son, Nelson?
Hello, hello. Just mute your microphone, please, when you hop on. Thank you. Okay, so I would like for everybody to set an intention for this meeting.
What's up with that one?
And when I actually had a staff meeting after school today,
What is it?
Yay, Christy, you've already registered for putting Mama First. That's
Oh,
awesome. Um,
then
so
I want my book.
No,
No.
mute your microphone, please.
everyone dinner.
Thank you. So before I go to a meeting, I always set an intention for the meeting. Um, Going to staff meetings, if you're a teacher or if you're in any kind of work where you go to staff meetings after working a long day, it can kind of be tedious and, oh, I don't have to do this and I don't want to focus. But if you go into the meeting with the intention, maybe I'm going to learn one new thing. Or at the end of this meeting, I will have one takeaway that I can try out in my classroom or in my family tomorrow. Whatever it is, I find that starting the meeting that way is it gets my brain ready for learning. It opens up my brain. It actually opens up the reticular activating system. It allows you to be more open to learning. And at the end of the meeting, you can then go back and reflect, what's the one new thing I did learn, or the three new things I learned, or what's the one takeaway or one thing I'm going to try? What's the strategy? So I'd like to just invite everybody to write an intention, and you can drop it in the comments if you'd like to. So for a meeting like this, I might have the intention that I'm going to learn one new thing, and I will have one new strategy at the end of this call. Or I'm going to learn something new and there's going to be something that's like an aha, that's like so exciting. Or I'm going to take away like something that really resonates with me that I'm going to think about more or look more into. So go ahead if you'd like to share what your intentions are. I'd love to see what they are. Type them in if you're willing to. The other thing I wanted to share is if I say something that you think, oh, that's so great, like I'd love to hear that again, or that's like something that's really an important point, if you don't mind typing it into the comments, then what we can do is turn that quote into a beautiful graphic. I can share it with you and then you'll have it to refer back to later. So I always love when I do these kind of courses and then they have these beautiful quotes that I can look at again later. Okay, so I see some intentions coming in. So exciting. Okay, so Jennifer's going to learn strategies I haven't already heard of or tried before. Sorry, I'm having a hard time scrolling on my computer here. Christy, I'm looking to learn a new strategy on how to manage my son's triggers, as well as how it trickles to my daughter. Oh yes, that ripple effect is so big. Stephanie is going to learn something new today to better support her child and empower other mamas. Yay! Annika is going to learn how to better understand anger with her son's ADHD. Awesome. Awesome. So these are great intentions. So I'd like you now to just kind of notice how you're feeling. So we're going to be talking all about emotions for the next 5 days. Oh, I have a chart. It's in my classroom. Oh, I wanted to show it to you. I'll have to bring it home. But I have a chart that has all kinds of feeling words on it. And I find that something really helpful to have posted in your house somewhere. And you can Google it. I could even share one in I'll share one in our Facebook group with you later. But it's nice to have that emotional vocabulary because often when we talk to our kids about feelings, they know happy, sad, mad, probably bored too. I'm so bored. That's one that they really know. But there's so many feeling words. So I'm going to try to encourage you to extend your own emotional vocabulary. And if you can have some sort of visual, and I will share one in the group, a visual that you have posted in your home so that you can help your children to expand their emotional vocabulary. So in the comments, I would like you to do two things. And if you want to type it in the comments, that's great. If you're more reserved, you can think about it in your own head or dot it in your own journal. But how are you feeling? Like, how are you really feeling? And take some time to think about it. And notice what the feeling is like in your body. Is there a calmness, a stillness? Do you feel vibrations anywhere? Are the vibrations fast or slow? Do you feel any pressure or tension anywhere? Any gurgling or swirling? What are you feeling in your body? I always get like a high vibration during these kinds of calls because I find them so exciting and I'm so excited to share with you. So I am feeling excited. So I want you just to really think about how you're feeling, jot down that feeling word in the comments. And also give yourself a number from 1 to 10. So a 10 would be like high vibe feelings. So these are feelings of love, gratitude, joy, excitement, like those really high vibration feelings. That's out of 10. A 1 would be stressed, overwhelmed, burnt out, depressed, anxious, worried, defeated, hopeless. Like those are down in the 1s. And a 5 might just be kind of neutral. So share your feeling word and on a 1 to 10. So a 10 is like, I'm feeling fabulous. I'm on top of the world. I'm so excited. And a 1 is just, so there are no bad feelings. All feelings have a purpose. They're all important. They're all valuable. But there are some feelings that feel really good. There's the pleasant feelings. And then there's feelings that feel bad. They're the unpleasant feelings. But they're all valuable. They're all purposeful. They all have meaning. Okay, so I see some 3s, some 5s. Anxious, burnt out, 4, tender, vulnerable. Yes, thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for being here and showing up and committing to this time and being open and honest. Like I just kind of jump right in. I'm used to kind of doing this, but this might be new for some of you. So thank you for being vulnerable. I see exhausted, overwhelmed, burnt out, headachy, stressed. 1, exhausted, frustrated. 5, I'm excited to learn more, but anxious because I feel like I don't have the time to do it all. I need to do consistently and I'm tired. Oh, I feel you. And that's why I sent the email that I sent out a few days ago about, are you doing enough? And we'll get into that. Overwhelmed, defeated, anxious, rushed, but grateful in finding this group. And I love that's so valuable, Stephanie. I could cry. I'm so happy that you said that because in the times when we're struggling the most, if you can find gratitude in those horrible moments, that is like, that's the balance. We want to balance the pain and the joy. And when you're able to find gratitude every day and feel into that gratitude, that's going to help bring up your vibrations always. My son broke his finger a year ago. We were in the hospital. He was feeling worried about not being able to do his sports, which he loves. And even though he was in pain and worried and anxious, he was able to say he was thankful that we had a nice hospital, that there was nice nurses, that we were being seen quickly, that he was being taken care of. So yeah, it's so such a gift when you can find gratitude in times of stress and pain. So thank you for sharing that, Stephanie. Leanne, you're feeling pretty positive, a 7 or an 8. You're an optimist. That's amazing, Leanne. Thank you. And you're grateful for this tribe, as am I. Lovely. Thanks for sharing. And I'm just going to pop onto Facebook. Positive, a 7 or an 8. Hi, Sarah. I see you're on Facebook. I see a 1 on Facebook. 4. Some people are feeling stressed. Hi, Elizabeth. So glad to see you. Okay, good. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing how you're feeling. Now, I want you to notice that number and notice what happens to it if it goes up or down when I'm about to say what I am going to say. So I sent an email out before I say that. Okay, I'll say it. I sent an email out the other day, and the subject had meaning to me because I had had quite a few conversations, 3 conversations around the same topic. And somebody just kind of mentioned it in the comments here. And when I notice that things come up again and again, I want to hop on and do a live or an email or share it because I think it's like the universe, telling me that I need, there's a message to share. My subject was, are you doing enough for your child? And I think that was triggering for some people. My intention was certainly not to upset or hurt or offend anybody. My intention was to share the thought, am I doing enough for my child? Because I think we've all had that thought a million times. Am I doing enough or I'm not doing enough? Maybe just type me in the comments if you can relate to that. My intention was not to make anybody feel like I didn't think they were doing enough or that there was any sort of judgment, because I will never judge you ever. Like, there is no judgment. But I know as a mom, and I know from working with my clients and connecting with people in the Facebook group recently, lots of new people have been coming in. I've been connecting with them. That feeling of, oh, I'm not doing enough for my child. So there's always this feeling of that we need to do. So I just want to take a minute before we get into that and kind of flip it. And I want you to recognize that, number one, you are not a human doing, you are a human being. And that's kind of going to be the theme for tonight. It's not about doing all the things. It's who you are being when you're with your kids, not all the things you're doing for them. Because you could do a million things for them, but not be in the energy that they need you to be in. Aaron Huey has a quote that he always says, and I know I'm not going to say it the way he says it, but when you are at your worst, when you're doing your best parenting at your worst, no, wait. Maybe somebody knows the quote. Okay, how does it go? When you are at your best, so your best self, your best energy, your best vibration, you're being your best, but you do your worst parenting, that is still better than when you are at your worst doing your best parenting. Does that make sense? So taking care of you as a human being, taking care of you, your emotions, your energy is the number one thing you can do to help your child, honestly, because when you are at your best and you're not doing all the things, you're still doing so much more for your child by being at your best self. I hope that makes sense. So I want you to take a moment just to recognize all the things, not that this is about doing, but recognize all the things that you are doing for your child. And if you can jot some of those things down now in the notes, that would be great in the comments. What do you do for your kids? Pack their lunches, make them breakfast, make them dinner, give them clean clothes to wear, take them to school, take them to their appointments, take them to their extracurriculars. You hug them, you love them, you bathe them, you snuggle up with them, you play with them. Take them to their doctor's appointments, their psychologist appointments, their occupational therapist appointments. You're here right now. Yes, Tony, attending events like this, learning how to help more. Maybe you read fantastic books like, oh, I'll be talking about some of these later, but here's a really good one. Oh, where are my other favorites? Anyway, so maybe you read, maybe you listen to podcasts, maybe you go to summits. Maybe you listened to Dana Kay on the summit last weekend and you've started to drop sugar, dairy, gluten, soy from the diet. Maybe you've started doing exercises to balance the brain, to integrate the right and the left side, or to strengthen the cerebellum. You help your child learn to read, you help them with their homework. Okay, so when you have that feeling, am I doing enough or I'm not doing enough? Think about the things you've just listed, about all the things that you are doing. And maybe you will even want to write that on a list and stick it somewhere where you can see it. So if you ever have that feeling, I'm not doing enough. Oh, yes, Denise, working with teachers on the IEP. Yes. Working on like social stories with your kids, maybe working on first then boards. I want you to notice as we're having this conversation, what is happening to your feeling word and your number. So for some of you, it might be going up because you might be feeling empowered. You might be thinking, yeah, I do this and I do this and I do this. I am doing a great job. I am doing enough. Like I'm here right now. I'm committed to my child. Like I tell my kid every day I love them. I hug them. I'm doing lots of things. So that might be raising up your vibration. Or you might be listening to these ideas or reading the ideas in the comments, and you might be thinking, oh, I haven't listened to any podcasts. I haven't done any summits. I've only read one ADHD book. What the heck is a first then board? There's no way I'm eliminating gluten from our diet. We love pizza and sandwiches and pasta and muffins. There's no way I'm doing that. Just the thought of that is overwhelming me. What do you mean all the appointments? I don't take my kid to all the appointments. We have one appointment a month. Am I missing something? IEP? Wait a minute. I don't have an IEP for my kid. Does my kid need an IEP? What is an IEP? So some of you might be listening to this and your vibration is going way down, hearing all these things that other people are doing might be causing you to think, I'm not doing enough. This might be causing you more anxiety and more stress. And now your number might be going down. Your feeling might be going down. Maybe you were feeling just a little bit worried at the beginning, and now you're feeling like completely overwhelmed. Just notice and notice without judging yourself, because it is okay. I hope that you can feel that in this container that I'm holding for you for the next 5 days, I really, truly hope that you can feel comfortable to feel your feelings and express yourself. And it's okay. But notice, and if you're brave enough, share in the comments what your number is now. Let us know if your number went up or down. Let us know your feeling word and if that kind of went to a higher vibration or a lower vibration. And just know that it's okay. It's okay. And if hearing all these things and noticing that people are doing things that you're not doing, if that brought your energy down and it's making, and you're feeling kind of crappy, I want you to know it's normal. It means your brain is working, your brain is doing its job, believe it or not. That's a protection mechanism that your brain has. Our thoughts, 90% of our thoughts are automatic and negative. So 90% of our thoughts come from our subconscious, from programming from when we were a kid, and 90% of our thoughts are negative. So if you have negative thoughts, I'm not doing enough. There's no way we're dropping gluten. What the heck is an IEP? I must be doing something wrong. If you're having those negative thoughts, it's okay. Your brain is doing its job. It's normal, but just notice. Just notice. Becoming aware of your thoughts and aware of your feelings is such a huge first step in supporting your child with their thoughts and their emotions. It starts with us. So remember that we are human beings, we're not human doings. And if we focus on all the doings and not the being, our energy drops. So if I'm focusing on my to-do list and all the things that I want and need and must and feel I should be doing, rather than focusing on my energy and being in the moment and being with my kids, I'm going to have a very different energy. I'm going to have a low vibrational, stressed, burnt out, exhausted energy. And my kids will pick up on that. My sons pick up on it. My students pick up on it and they respond to it. They mirror it. So if I'm burnt out and stressed and anxious, my kids are going to feel that. And they're going to have those kinds of feelings too. Our feelings are magnetic. So we want to be mindful. Just be mindful. Okay. So over the next 5 days, we're going to be learning about how your emotions and your energetics are the key to your child's behavior. So why are you here tonight? Like, why are you really here? I want you just to take a moment to set another intention. So we had an intention for our meeting, but what is your intention for your family or your goal or your dream or your what you're aspiring to for your family? What is it you really want? I'm just going to give you a minute to think about it. So what are your goals? Why are you here? Are you here because you want to keep your cool? Because you want to learn how to deal with your kids' emotions? I'm just going to read through some. I might not, I'm having a bit of a hard time scrolling through. I should have a proper mouse, I think. Harmony, acceptance. You're here because you always want to improve and find positive ways and not be reactive. You want open communication. You want to better understand your son. So these are all beautiful reasons for being here. So I want you to think about your intention and your goal and see if you can expand it, make it bigger. So what I mean is, let's say, for example, your goal is to keep your cool. You're here because you lose it a lot and no judgment. You yell and scream at your kids. Their behaviors trigger you and you want to find a more calm and peaceful way of handling things. So if your intention is to keep your cool, what happens tomorrow when you don't keep your cool? When something happens and you snap at your kids and you lost your temper, now you've just failed your intention and you're out of alignment with your intention. You failed. And then you feel disappointed that you failed. And then you might feel like, oh no, I can't do it, because you're getting further and further and further away from your intention. Or what if your intention is you want your child to be happy? Like a lot of us think, yeah, I want my kid to be happy and healthy, right? How many times have I said that? I want my kids to be happy and healthy. But does that mean when your child feels sad or embarrassed or nervous or angry or disappointed that you failed? So just kind of be mindful of what your intentions are. One of my intentions that I always like to go to is I'm raising incredible humans. I used to have in my intentions that I wanted to be calm, but then that when I wasn't calm, then I felt like I was failing and I was out of alignment with my intention and it didn't feel good. But I'm raising incredible humans. And that means sometimes if I lose my cool, it's okay because I can come back. I can repair. I can apologize. My kids are building resiliency. It's okay. And if I'm just focusing on them being happy and they're not happy, well, part of being an incredible human is feeling all the feelings and having all the experiences. So it's okay for them to have those feelings. It's okay for them to fight with each other. That used to trigger me so much when my boys fought with each other. But when they fight with each other, they're learning conflict resolution. They're practicing with each other. So when they go out into the world and they have conflicts, they're learning how to deal with it. So it's okay. So I want you to think about your bigger intention, your bigger goal. So whatever it was, see if you can stretch it out a little bit more and picture it in your mind. I really want you to create an image. I want you to see it. So for me, I see a future. My kids are older, they're young men, and they're happy. And I can see them like they have careers that they enjoy and they have families. And I have grandchildren. So just picture like, what do you see for this big intention? And what sounds do you hear? Is there like pleasant conversation? Is there music? Is there water, like waves? Is there laughter? Can you smell anything? For me, I keep thinking of the smell of pineapple and coconut for some reason. Or maybe it's the smell of sunscreen because you're outside on a beautiful warm summer day.
So when you heard Daddy say that,
Can you mute, please?
when you heard Daddy say
So
that you
just,
were
I really
lazy,
want you to,
however that made you feel,
oh, can you
how
mute,
did that make you
please?
feel?
I'm trying to see who's
Sterling,
got their microphone
we
on.
can talk about that after. How did that make you feel?
Christy, can you mute? Oh, here we go. I can mute you. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I really want you to imagine that intention and notice what it feels like. And the reason for this is it's so powerful when you can match your thoughts with your feelings. That is how you manifest. And we're always manifesting. So whether we're manifesting, my life is stressful, there's chaos, my kids never listen, they're always in trouble, the teachers are always calling and complaining. If your focus is on that, your energy goes that way, that's what you're manifesting. So I want you just to take a minute and visualize like what it is you do want. And what does it sound like? And what does it smell like? And what does it look like? What does it feel like in your body? Can you feel a smile on your face? Can you feel a lightness? Just notice. And I want to share a story with you. Not too long ago, and the story kind of expresses why it's so important for us to take care of our own emotions and our own energetics. So not that long ago, I remember waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning in an absolute panic. And the thought in my head was, I'm not doing enough for my son. He needs a tutor. He needs a coach. He needs an executive functioning coach. Even though I'm a coach, he doesn't want it from mom. He needs an executive functioning coach and he needs a tutor. And if I don't hurry up and do this, like he's going to feel like he's getting really far behind. It's going to affect his self-esteem, how he feels about himself. It's going to affect how he feels that his peers are perceiving him. And maybe they will perceive him differently. Maybe they'll pick on him. Maybe if I don't get him a tutor and an executive functioning coach, then maybe it will mean that he won't love school. He won't like school. He won't want to try hard in school. He's going to drop out of school and he'll never get a job. He'll be living with me forever. And who knows what he's going to turn to. He's going to end up in jail. So that's how my thoughts spiraled from yes, catastrophizing. Exactly, Leanne. From that moment, that one little thought, and it just spiraled. I don't know if any of you can relate to that. So I was fearful for his future. And then I started blaming myself. I'm a teacher. I should know better. I shouldn't have let things get to this point. I should have had a tutor right away. I'm a coach, but I don't have a coach for my own child. What is the matter with me? Why didn't I do this? So the blaming myself, feeling ashamed and guilty. And then to layer it on even more, I'm going to blame my husband because it's all his fault. None of this would be, and we wouldn't be in this situation if he didn't work such long hours in the city. So this is before COVID. Now, thank my lucky stars, he works from home. But before, he used to work in the city and he'd be gone at least 12 hours a day. So I was doing mostly everything on my own. So of course, this is all his fault because if, he was around in the mornings and if he was around after school, he could help with these things. So these are the thoughts that are spinning around in my head. And of course, I couldn't get back to sleep. So I laid there stewing, feeling those feelings in my body of anxiety, like feeling like I couldn't breathe. Yes, Lisa, you blame your husband for his genetics. Your husband has ADHD, your kids have ADHD. It's all your husband's fault. Life would be so blissful if your husband didn't have ADHD, right? So blame, and this is normal. Our thoughts do all kinds of crazy things. Like I said before, 90% of our thoughts, 9 out of 10 of our thoughts are automatic and they're negative. So when my husband woke up and very sweetly said to me, "Good morning," you can imagine I did not say good morning back to him. I didn't hug him or kiss him or smile at him. I didn't say good morning. I said, "Have you even thought about getting our son a tutor? Has that thought ever even crossed your mind? Have you noticed how he's doing in school? Like, did you see his last assignment? Did you see what he got on it? And we didn't support him. And don't you think it's about time he had an executive function coach? Why haven't you thought of that? Why do I have to be the one that thinks of everything? And why do I have to be the one that takes him to all of his appointments? Do you know how frustrating and challenging it is to go to the psychiatrist appointments? Do you have any idea what I go through to get him there each time? Not to mention the disaster once we're there. Do you even know what happened at the last appointment? So my poor husband, he woke up and said, "Good morning." And well, that's what he got because my emotions and my energetics were, and I just threw that at him. So then, of course, he didn't like that. So he reacted to me. Of course he did. And I reacted to him. He reacted to me. So you know what that is, right? They're reacting to each other and triggering each other. A nice little fight. So what do our kids wake up to? Parents fighting. So my intention, is that I want my son to do well at school and be successful at school. And I wanted to have this tutor so he could, do better on his academics and have an executive function coach so he could do better with his organization and time management. And so school can be so much easier for him. And what do? My energetics and my emotions went. And then he wakes up to parents fighting. He says, "I'm hungry." And I say, "There's the kitchen. Go get yourself something for breakfast and leave me alone." And then walked out the front door so I could get some air and catch my breath and slam the door behind me for extra, dramatic effect and to really let them know how angry I am. So guess what? When my kid went to school that day, he didn't have a great day because his morning started off terribly. His morning started off with his parents fighting, his mother snapping at him. Usually mom has a nice breakfast all ready for him. And instead she's like, "Get yourself a." So my goal for him was to do better in school. But because I was in this negative spiral, he didn't have a good school day. He didn't do well on his quiz. He felt stressed at school. It had the opposite effect. And that's because my emotions and my energetics. That's why it's so important that we focus on our own emotions and energetics first. Sandra has a question. Will this be posted in the Facebook group? Yes, it will be. And I'm also doing something new this time. I'll be loading it up to YouTube and sharing the YouTube link with you, and I'll email that out so you can catch it on the replay that way as well. Mary Soul, thank you for thank you for your honesty. It's comforting knowing you're not alone. I know, right? Like that's the whole idea of the village, the ADHD village. We're not alone. And it's okay. It's okay. So coaching really did help me through understanding my thoughts and feelings. A coach can help you like look at those thoughts, catch those thoughts, and either, when if you're able to catch that thought quickly, you could try on another. My coach calls it a thought option. It's like going to a store shopping for clothes, and you try on a dress, or you try on a blouse and a skirt, you try on a pair of jeans and a sweater. You try different outfits on and you decide which one looks good for you. It's the same with your thought options. So I could try on the thought, I'm not doing enough for my son. Well, that one does not look good on me. That one sucks. That one makes me feel crappy. That one sucks my energy and makes me fight with my husband. I don't want to wear that thought. How about the thought, I'm a great mom? I don't believe that thought maybe in that moment because I am feeling overwhelmed. So I can't even believe I'm a great mom, but I can believe I am a mom, period. I am a mom, or I am doing the best that I can. Kids do well if they can, Ross Green. Parents do well if they can too. That's a thought. I am doing the best that I can. I like that thought. That one feels good. Or instead of I'm not doing enough for my child, maybe the thought could be, I'm going to do one thing today. I'm going to notice one thing today. And that's okay. And maybe that one thing is giving them a hug. That was the one thing I did for my child today. So notice your thoughts. Your thoughts create your feelings, which drive your actions. And this is proven on brain scans. Even though we feel our feelings, it feels like something happens which causes our feeling. My kid rolls his eyes at me. I feel annoyed. But it's not the thing out there that causes our feeling. It's our thought. My kid rolls his eye at me. I have a thought, how rude and disrespectful. Now I feel annoyed. So the thought happens a fraction of a second before the emotion. But we feel emotions in our body. Emotions are vibrations. They're energy in motion. That's what we feel in our body. That's why we notice the feelings first. And then when we have those feelings, we act in certain ways. So when I was having that feeling of complete like overwhelm and anxiety and fear, when I was thinking I'm not doing enough for my son, I need to have the tutor, I need to have the coach, I need to blah, blah, blah. And if I don't, he's going to end up in jail. So those thoughts caused me to feel completely overwhelmed, anxious, fearful. And that then caused me to fight with my husband and snap at my son and slam the front door. Whereas if I had tried on a different thought, if I had thought to myself, I'm not doing enough for my son, and if I had caught that thought and thought, wait a minute, I don't like that thought. That one doesn't feel good. How about I am enough, or I'm doing the best I can? Then that's going to allow me to have a different feeling. Maybe the feeling's neutral. Maybe the feeling is less anxious. Maybe it's hopeful. Whatever it is, that's going to lead to a different way. But if I'm able to even talk myself through it more, maybe look at my list of all the things that I am doing. Wow, I feed my kids 3 meals and 3 snacks a day. I give them clean clothes to wear, take them to school. I do all these things. If I look at my list then I might start feeling compassionate for myself or hopeful or positive. Then when my son wakes up and says, Mom, I'm hungry, I'm going to say, good morning, sweetheart. How are you? What would you like for breakfast? I'm going to show up in a different way. I'm going to give my son the emotions and the energy that he needs so that he can have a more successful day at school. Now, I'm not saying we control everything, right? Like just because you smile and say good morning and serve them breakfast doesn't mean they're going to get an A on their test and not have any problems at school. But it means that we're going to be giving them a different energy. We're going to be setting things up in a more positive way. Xperia, you mean thought, action, feeling. Yes. And I actually have an acronym that I use. It's what the FAC, WTFAC. So W is what's happening in the world around you. So that's the situation. So in my example, it was my son rolling his eyes. T is a thought. F is a feeling. A is action. And then C is for consequence. So what's the consequence of your actions? I have a few more little stories maybe you can relate to. You are in a store with your child. You're in the checkout. They see all the treats, all the chocolates that are there, and they ask for one, and you say no. I've been saying no to my kids a lot lately about sugar because it's cold and flu and COVID season. Everybody's sick. And I keep telling them sugar is the devil right now. Like we don't want our bodies fighting sugar and all these viruses. So no to sugar. So anyway, you're in the store, your child says, can I have a chocolate? You say no. They explode. You said the dreaded word, no. And they explode and everyone stops and stares. Maybe they're pointing and whispering about you, like, who knows? And you can feel like that dizzy embarrassment. And you think like, why me? Or you turn your back on your kids for 2 minutes. You leave them alone in the living room so you can go to the kitchen and make dinner. 2 minutes and a fight breaks out. And I don't mean just like, they're saying mean things to each other. I mean, like they're kicking and biting and throwing and doing all the things. And in that moment, you feel so angry. Like, how did things get so bad that you can't turn your back for 2 minutes? So angry. Or how about you pick your teenager up from school? This one's happened to me. They get in the car and instantly annoyed at you because you've done something wrong. You've parked in the wrong spot. You're too close to the front door. Somebody might see them get in your vehicle. You're embarrassing them. And, you were just excited to pick your kid up from school and you had a special Tim Hortons smile cookie to give to them. And you look down at the treat that you brought for your kid and you just feel like so sad and heartbroken. Like you just wanted to give your kid a treat and say, how was your day? And they get in the car and tell you how horrible and embarrassing you are. And you can feel like the tears burning behind your eyelids and a lump rising up in your throat. And you're thinking like how rude and hurtful and disrespectful. So these things happen. We have thoughts, they create our feelings. And lots of these things are triggering to us. So I want you just to take a moment. You can think about it. You can jot it in your journal or you can jot it in the comments. What are the things that trigger you? Because if we want to learn how to keep our cool and cool things down and cool down our kids' explosions and escalations, we have to first figure out what makes our blood boil. What gets us all hot and bothered? When you say like, I've had it up to here and you feel like you're going to explode and you can feel the heat rising. So what are these things that trigger you? We got to look at them so we can deal with them. And just knowing our triggers is so helpful. Just knowing them, recognizing them so that we can put a plan in place for when those things do happen. So just give you a moment to jot your ideas down. Hey, being disrespected, being ignored. when my daughter doesn't listen over and over, when she kicks or hits me, talking and sibling fighting. Boys constantly fighting. Working with teachers on the IEP and learning more about neurodiversities, listening to his daily stories with more patience and enthusiasm. Okay, what is triggering for you? And I'm just going to pop onto Facebook and see if anyone's commenting in Facebook. Jenny said, when I've done so much and they say, you never do anything for me, right? Talking back, rolling eyes, the boys picking on each other. Yes. Yeah, so those are triggering. Whining. Oh, hi, Sarah. Whining is triggering. I spoke to somebody on the phone the other day and she said people telling her what to do and judging her parenting is triggering. Somebody reached out to tell me that my subject line was triggering, that it was offensive. I felt triggered right before we came on here because I realized that an email had gone out this morning that said, thank you for attending this our day one, and here's your homework. And then people were reaching out to me and saying, oh, did I miss the call? And then I was triggered thinking, oh, like, I don't like making mistakes. I don't like when things go wrong. Like, I don't like when technology doesn't work. That's triggering. Lisa being accused of PTSD because I've been all the way down this path with an older child versus feeling heard and knowing as a mama who's lived it all before and can't believe I'm back at it. Yeah. When your child is hitting their younger siblings and hurting them, having to remind the school staff that your son is not neurotypical. Hello, right? So kids do well if they can, parents do well if they can, teachers do well if they can too. And I'm a teacher. I know teachers might have 30 kids in their class with all sorts of different needs. And some teachers are, old like me and very well experienced and, have totally invested in special education. But then you've got some new teachers who are just learning. And you're going to find that you need to advocate for your kids and actually educate the educators around some of this stuff, because our world revolves around our kids, but the teachers are revolving around the curriculum and the expectations from admin and all kinds of different parents that are asking things and all sorts of different students and all the things. So yeah, they are going to need you to help advocate, but yeah, it is triggering because you want to feel like you send your kid to school and they're in good hands and that the teacher gets them. And sometimes the teachers need some education. Hey, Elaine, when people don't know the true meaning of ADHD, yes. So it is ADHD Awareness Month. I'll be sharing on my personal page and in the ADHD Village, I'm hoping, graphics regularly so that you can share those as well. We want to spread the word about ADHD. We want to reduce the stigma. We want people to understand what it actually is. It is not misbehavior. It's not bad kids. These are not kids who just need to, what I've been told, like, oh yeah, just give them to me for a weekend and I'll fix them or send them to military school. No, they're not this way because of bad parenting. They're not slow or lazy or stupid or all those things that we've heard. No. Yeah. So yeah, that is triggering. We want people to understand what ADHD is. Okay, husband and daughter arguing. That's triggering. Oh yes, Janice, when your husband's not on board. So often parents maybe aren't on the same page. Maybe one parent is diving deep into all the research and the new parenting paradigm and more conscious, positive parenting and learning all the strategies for ADHD, and your parenting partner might be doing things maybe the way things were done when they were a kid, because that's what they know and what they're familiar and comfortable with. So there can be a conflict, and that can be very triggering. When they don't leave their iPhone, when they're addicted to their virtual devices. Yes. So poor impulse control. So all these things are triggering. Notice it. So you're doing a great job noticing. And that's actually what the homework is for tonight, your challenge homework. So I will be posting a thread. Actually, maybe it's already posted, but there will be a thread in Facebook called day one, hashtag keep cool. I'm going to pin it up at the top as well. And it's noticing what your triggers are. And if you can kind of dig down deeper and ask yourself, why is that triggering? So that if you're feeling brave, I encourage you to comment on the Facebook thread, because when you comment, other people, it helps other people. Like somebody had just commented, thank you for sharing, because now I feel like I'm not alone. So when you share these things in Facebook, when you comment, it might feel like you're taking a risk or you're vulnerable sharing, but it's helping other people. So the homework is to notice what your triggers are and ask yourself what's causing those triggers. So if I'm triggered because my kids don't listen to me, I can ask myself, why is that triggering to me? Why do I get so upset when my kids don't listen to me? Has this shown up somewhere else in my life? When's the first time I noticed that somebody wasn't listening to me? So take some time. I encourage you to journal on it. Just take some time, notice what your triggers are, and ask yourself, why is this so triggering to me? Why is it so upsetting? And I think we're going to be ending in just a moment. That is your homework. I'm just glancing through my notes. I've got so much more I wanted to. Oh, actually, I'm going to give you three more things before we go. Notice again how you're feeling after talking about this stuff. So some of you might be feeling kind of triggered just talking about the triggers. And if you think about things that trigger you, like if I think about my kids fighting with each other, and I might have the thought, they fight all the time. I can't leave them alone for a minute. They're always fighting. And car rides are a nightmare. Like, especially the story I was telling you about me arguing with my husband in the morning. The car ride to school was a nightmare and the boys were fighting. So if I'm thinking about that, if I'm letting my focus and my energy go on to that thought, your brain, if you're imagining it really well, your brain's not going to know the difference between that actually happening in the moment or your thought or your memory of it. It's going to kind of experience it as the same intensity. So if you spend a lot of time thinking about the triggers, focusing your energy there, it might cause you, and we've been talking about triggers for a while, so you might be feeling kind of triggered. So I'm going to give you 3 strategies to bring your stress down. So just in case some of you are stressed, and I know lots of you at the beginning of the call said you were feeling overwhelmed, burnt out, exhausted, and I saw lots of 1s and 3s and 4s. So notice, actually, if you can, please type in the comment on that scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling now? So 10 is you're in the vibration of love, you're in the vibration of joy, you're excited, you're happy. A 1 is overwhelmed, burnt out, stressed, depressed, anxious. A 5 is neutral. So let us know from 1 to 10, how are you feeling? I'm going to look at Facebook quickly and see. Okay. I see 4s and 3s. I see an 8 to 7 because you're feeling like you're not alone and you're supported. Yay. That's what I love about the ADHD village, the support. Yay. Okay. So I'll show you 3 exercises to kind of calm yourself down. And then I want you to reflect on your number again and notice if it helped. Okay. So one thing that I like to do, you know how I said you flip your lid or you've had it up to here. So this Daniel Siegel made up this quick little model of the brain. So this is your prefrontal cortex. This is where the executive functioning skills take place, your rational thoughts, your problem solving, conflict resolution, planning, predicting, deciding how risky things are, deciding if things are socially acceptable. All that stuff happens here. When you flip your lid, you are in your limbic brain, you're in the emotional brain. That's the part that's in control. You've lost access to your thinking brain. So this is true for our kids. It's true for us as adults. So when you're triggered, when you're explosive, when you're reactive, you've flipped your lid and you're thinking from your emotional brain, which is telling you you are in danger and you're in fight, flight, or freeze mode. And we don't want to do our parenting from that place. So something that I like to do is I like to put one hand on my forehead, one hand on my head, and just apply on the top, apply a little bit of pressure. And I visualize that I am pushing my prefrontal cortex back online. And I'll tell myself as I'm doing this, I am okay. I am okay. So I want you just to do it with me. One hand on your forehead, one hand on the top of your head. This is where your prefrontal cortex is. This is where your executive functioning takes place. And just give it a little push. And it's like you're pushing down onto that limbic system. You're telling your amygdala that might be firing off, telling you you're in danger. I'm not in danger. I am safe. I am safe. And so sometimes when our amygdala is telling us we're in danger because our teenager rolled their eye or our toddler's having a temper tantrum on the floor, our amygdala is saying you are in danger. And it's telling your brain that you're in the same danger as if you were back in the caveman days and you were being chased by a saber-toothed tiger. The brain's not distinguishing between modern day danger and real life-threatening danger. So by doing this, I tell myself I'm safe, I'm okay. And I tell myself, like, where am I right now? Like, I'm in my house, I'm in my basement, I'm sitting on my chair. I can feel my chair supporting me. I feel my feet on the ground. I am okay. I am safe. I can use my thinking brain, and it actually just feels good too. So that's something that I like to do. Another thing is to notice where your tongue is in your mouth. Often when you are in that fight, flight, or freeze, your tongue is on the roof of your mouth. So drop your tongue. Put your tongue to your bottom teeth. When you drop your tongue sends a message to your digestive system when it goes down, and it's saying, yep, it's like I'm calm, I'm relaxed, I'm at rest, so I can digest my food. And that lets your brain know, oh, well, I must be safe because I'm able to digest my food. So that's just a really quick little drop your tongue. I notice often, like when I wake up, that my tongue's on the roof of my mouth. I'm always telling myself, drop your tongue, drop your tongue. That's giving my brain the message that it's safe to relax. And the last strategy, I do 4-8. I do all kinds of breathings, but one is just 4-8, which is an inhale for 4 and an exhale for 8. But I start with the exhale. And the reason to start with the exhale is this. When you're shocked, you'll take a short intake of air like this. When you're relaxed, you do a sigh of relief like this. So the exhale, when it's a long exhale, that's sending the message that it's safe to relax. When you're exhaling deep in your belly, when your belly is moving in and out when you breathe, You're massaging your vagus nerve, which is also telling you to relax. So we'll do a few of these breaths together. We're going to exhale for 8 and then inhale for 4. We'll do 3 of them. So when you exhale, you can either exhale through your nose or your mouth. Maybe it feels good just to let it all out like a big sigh. So let's do it together. A big sigh out for 8. And in 2, 3, 4, and now out for 8. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm still sick. Okay, one more deep breath out. Sorry about that. And in. So your 3 calming strategies, your hands on your head, reminding yourself that you are safe and that you can access your prefrontal cortex, your thinking brain. Drop your tongue and long, slow, deep exhales. And I would love to know your number now. After doing those 3 little strategies, I'd love to know if your number changed. So maybe going into this, you were a 4, and now maybe after you tried those 3 strategies, maybe you've gone up to a 5 or a 6, or maybe it didn't have an effect. I don't know. I'd love to know if that had an effect on you. I can feel it brought my energy down a little bit. Down for me because I was at a 10, like super excited at the beginning, and this has kind of calmed me a little bit. And I'm going to check in Facebook to see. Lisa said it's a 5, definitely to a place, of neutral. And so you'll take it. Great. So Deanna, it brought you up to a 6. Marisol, you're feeling more relaxed at a 7. Erica, now you feel like a 10. Be kind, you're up to a 7. Yay. So that is something, those strategies. Elizabeth, you're at a 6. Good. So those strategies you can do throughout the day, and you can do it within a minute. So in 1 minute, you can just say, I am safe. I'm sitting on my chair. I'm in my safe home. I'm dropping my tongue, and do an exhale. Like you can even do that in 30 seconds. You can start your day with that. You can do it, every time you pass through a doorway, maybe that's a reminder, drop your tongue. Or maybe every time you get to a red light when you're driving or out walking, that's your reminder, exhale. Maybe every time, maybe you set an alarm on your phone for once an hour, and once an hour, you just do this. I'm safe. I'm okay. I can use my thinking brain. So the thing with these strategies is you do want to practice when you're calm, so that in the heat of the moment when you're stressed and you want to access those strategies, it's easier to do. So I'm a teacher. We do fire drills with our students all the time. We don't do a fire drill when there's actually a fire in the building and there's smoke everywhere, because that would be chaos. We wouldn't know what to do. We practice fire drills regularly when the kids are calm, when we can calmly explain things. So same with you. If you can do a few of these quick, easy little calming strategies for yourself on a regular basis when you're calm, maybe even share them with your kids. Whether your kids do them or not, by you doing it, you're taking care of your own emotions, your own energetics, and you're going to be able to co-regulate your kids. So whether they're dropping their tongue and exhaling and doing this or not, if you're doing it, you're sharing your energy and your energetics with them. This is also why Sarah Nicorak and I have created the Putting Mama First virtual retreat, because we really want to take care of mamas. Yes, so that you can co-regulate your kids and take better care of your kids, of course, but also because you are a valuable human being. Your energy, your emotions matter. So I'll share more details with that later on. Anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed today. I've gone over time. I have a terrible habit of going over time. At the very beginning of our call, we set an intention. Maybe you would learn one new thing, you'd get a new strategy, you'd have an aha moment. I would love for you to share in the comments what did you get? What did you receive from this call today? Was it valuable to you? What is something that maybe that you learned, or an aha moment, or something that resonated with you, or something that you're going to try? Share it in the comments. And there's a few reasons for this. By typing it, by putting things into writing, you're bringing it out of your brain, putting it visually so you can see it. When you put things in writing, you're 42% more likely to do them. So if you're thinking to yourself right now, I really liked the dropping my tongue, and I think I'd like to do that every time I get to a red light. Okay, that's a great thought. But if you put it in writing, you're 42% more likely to actually do it. And also, if you're putting it in writing, especially in the Facebook group, other people will see it. It will inspire them, encourage them, give them the idea to do it as well. So it's really, that's building our community in the ADHD village if you can do that. So I'm seeing calming techniques when frustrated, remembering to breathe is my takeaway, drop my tongue, learning how to notice my thoughts. Yes, noticing your thoughts is so important, and without judgment. Just really notice them. That's when change really started to happen for me. I used to think all my thoughts were true, and that's a story for another day. But noticing your thoughts is a great first step. Stephanie said, I learned to recognize triggering situations, stop, don't react, perform the calming strategies, and then respond. Christy, to make a list what I am actually doing rather than focusing on what I'm not doing. Yes, Christy, I love it, because where your focus goes, your energy flows. So if you are thinking, I'm not doing enough for my kid, I should be getting rid of gluten like this person does, and I should be getting a tutor like that person does, and I should be doing these exercises like that person does. When you shit all over yourself and focus on what you're not doing, all your energy goes that way, and it's going to suck out your energy and emotions. But if you focus on all the things you are doing, it's going to raise your vibrational energy. That's going to help you so much more. Nancy, the 3 quick strategies are great. Drop the tongue is a technique I will use myself and pass on to my students. Be kind. I met both of my intentions. Yay. See? So you set your reticular activating system at the beginning of the call, and you met your intentions. Yay. Thank you. You're welcome, Nancy. I'm so glad. Take time being a mom. Yeah. Take time being. It's not about doing, it's about being, and enjoy the being. So I will see you tomorrow in Zoom or on Facebook at the same time. Please, please, please do your homework. So think more about what your triggers are. Think on, question yourself. Why are those things so triggering to you? We'll talk about that more tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're also going to be getting into what causes our kids' behaviors and explosive emotions. What's underneath all of that that's causing it. So having that understanding is so beneficial when we can understand why these things are happening. So that will be tomorrow. Remember, I'm giving away prizes on day 4. And to win the prizes, you need to do your homework and also share. So if this feels, if you think that this challenge would benefit some of your friends or family, share it with them. If you want to just share it on your social media, it is ADHD Awareness Month. So you could post it in, groups that you're in or on your personal page if you think it might benefit people. Tag me if you're on Facebook at Laura Dawn, if you're on Instagram at the ADHD Village, so that I know that you're sharing. The more we share, the more adults who understand this, the better it is. Like together, I'm so proud of you for being here. I'm so thankful that you're sharing this time and energy with me, and that you're passionate about making change for your family. But together, collectively, we are shifting the parenting paradigm. And I'm so thankful and so honored to be a part of this with you. And we are changing the way people treat kids with ADHD. So this work is very important to me. Both my kids have ADHD. I want them to be valued in society. I want them to feel like they're valuable and respected, and that they have an important place. And I know you want that for your kids too. So the more we spread the word, the better it is for our kids and for the future. So thank you for doing this with me. I'm looking so forward to seeing you tomorrow. I'm looking forward to reading all your homework, and you will be entered. The more that you share, the more homework you do, you will be entered in the draw to win a 1-month membership to the ADHD Warrior Mama, which is my signature 1-year program. A VIP luxury experience for putting mama first, and also a choice of one of either ADHD, calming the ADHD chaos, or calming the ADHD family. So lots of prizes to give out. I'm so excited to share those with you on Thursday. Have a beautiful evening. Michelle, can I find the homework elsewhere since I missed most of the Zoom? Yes. So if the technology world is doing its magical work, there should already be a post in Facebook that has the homework posted. This recording is in Facebook and it will be pinned at the top. And also, if the magical world of technology is working, you should have received an email about half an hour ago that said, thank you for attending, and here is your homework. If you're not in the Facebook group, you can, do your homework in a journal. You can email it to me if you want to, whatever works for you. I will be keeping this challenge available to you for the whole month of October, for all of ADHD Awareness Month. But I do encourage you to stay in the energy, stay in the momentum. If you can't watch live with me, then book a time to watch the replay as soon as you can, so you can kind of stay in the flow and stay in the energetics of it. Okay. So, and I'll also be, once my computer converts this call and it uploads to YouTube. So I don't know, I might not get to it tonight. It might not be till tomorrow, but I will share in an email a link, a YouTube link, so that you can watch this on YouTube later as well. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. You are enough. You are doing enough for your children. You are beautiful parents. You are beautiful human beings. I love you. See you tomorrow.